So some video game Easter eggs are so insanely well hidden that you would never discover them on your own. And that's where our good old friend the internet can come in very handy. In today's video, we're taking a look at 10 Easter eggs that would have never have been found if it wasn't for the internet. As always, leave your suggestions down in the comments, and I do want to mention a couple of honourable mentions. Those being the giant shark from Battlefield 1, just because I love it so much, and the hidden actual Easter egg from the Futurama game. I mean, admittedly, both of those Easter eggs would have been perfect for this video, but I've spoken about them both multiple times before. As always, do all that YouTube algorithm stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin with one of the coolest Easter eggs in all of video games. Now, in Batman Arkham Asylum, you will spend a lot of time blowing up walls with Batman's trusty explosive gel. I mean, Bats has got so used to demolishing walls that he even has time to draw a bat with the gel beforehand, because in the world of Batman, style is everything. Of course, not every wall in the asylum can be blown up, but the ones that can are clearly marked when you use detective vision. This applies to all of the walls in the game, apart from one. If you go to the warden's office and place 3 explosive gels on this wall, and in my experience they have to be in very specific spots, when you detonate them, this will happen. So in this super well hidden room, we can find blueprints that reveal that the warden is planning on building a giant prison in North Gotham named Arkham City. This secret room was in the game at launch, and of course the next game in the Arkham series was Arkham City. So if you somehow found this incredibly well hidden room when the game released, you'd have known what the next Batman game was going to be, which is pretty cool. Up next is Hitman 3. Now, the Ambrose Island map gives off a pretty chill vibe. Well, you know, apart from the armed guards and the beachside power slap competition. But yeah, other than that, Ambrose Island would be a great place to relax. That is, unless you really hate cats. You see, scattered around the island are 5 tiny golden cats. And if you do hate cats, you'll be pleased to know that these cats can be shot. Now, some of them are actually really well hidden, so I suggest packing a sniper rifle to make sure there aren't any stragglers. Right, now that's done, you can finally relax. And what better way to do that than a spot of fishing? So it turns out there was actually 6 golden cats, with the 6th one being the biggest of the bunch. Now, the reason that I think that this one could be almost impossible to solve the old-fashioned way is because who is going to look up here for a cat? And even if you somehow found all the cats, why would you then go fishing? Next up is Wave Race Bluestorm. Now, Wave Race released all the way back in 2001, and the internet wasn't what it is today. That means that most people found out about Easter eggs on the playgrounds at school or at the water cooler at work. But I can't imagine Patrick from accounting telling me about this next Easter egg. First of all, you need to go to the audio settings and change the waveform so that it looks like this. Then you'll need to enter up, down, left, right, A, X, Z. If you've done it right, you'll hear this sound. Okay, so we did it. But what exactly is it? Well, during your next race, pay attention to the announcer, who seems a lot grumpier than usual.
Is that the best you could do?
No!
You're wasting my time. I grow tired of you. Past the red buoys on the right. Coward. The turbo is wasted on you. You couldn't have passed that buoy correctly if you had 2 tries. Ooh, a turbo!
So the usual chirpy announcer is replaced with an announcer who definitely isn't chirpy. I mean, Patrick is great at accounting, but there is no way he would have known about this Easter egg without the internet. So this next Easter egg is unique because it was found pretty much as soon as the game released, but it wasn't actually solved until much later. During the second mission of Black Ops 2, you can find Thor's hammer in a cave, and that's about it. You can't do anything with it apart from dump a small country's military budget trying to get it loose. Well, it turns out that it does serve a purpose. It just requires a little work to get going. I mean, I say a little work, you just need to take out all the enemies in the area without raising the alarm. And if done correctly, this will happen. So even after eliminating multiple well-armed enemies without anybody noticing, you're still deemed not worthy to lift Mjolnir, which is annoying. There is a silver lining, however. Now you have unlimited ammo for the Titus 6. I mean, it's not Mjolnir, but I suppose it will do. Like I said, a lot of people knew about Mjolnir pretty much as soon as the game released. But if you somehow managed to completely stealth that opening area, why would you then go back and check on the hammer? It just doesn't make sense to me. Well, if you think that's random, you haven't seen nothing yet.
But wait! There's more!
Call of Duty Zombies Easter eggs are notoriously difficult to solve, with some of them requiring so many steps that it's easy to forget what you're supposed to be doing. Well, this next Easter egg is confusing, and then some. On the Der Eisenreich map, you need to let the zombies break all of the barriers in the opening room, whilst ensuring that you don't make it past round 2. Now replace 2 pieces of wood on each of the windows whilst holding the MR6. And yes, you're right, that is oddly specific. Well, it gets even more specific, as after doing that, you now need to purchase the RK5 and replace 2 more pieces of wood on each of the windows. Now buy the Shiva and replace 1 piece of wood on each of the barricades, before rebuying the RK5 and opening the door.
Dempsey's loaded up.
So this is Drew Marlowe, a developer at Treyarch, with his wife and child. If like me you're wondering how on earth anyone managed to solve this Easter egg, well, I hate to ruin the magic, but it turns out that it was only discovered when somebody went digging through the game's scripts. But let's face it, it was never going to be found otherwise. Now, Albert Einstein said that the definition of insanity was doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And of course, he first heard that from Far Cry 3's mohawked villain, Voss.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Well, I'm guessing that neither Einstein or Voss ever tried to find Easter eggs in Titanfall 2. During the Effect and Cause mission, you get access to the Time Travel Glove, which is as cool as it sounds. When you reach this area with the flames, go against every fibre of your being and jump into them, and then begin spamming the Time Swap Glove. Well, I say spamming, you need to time travel 80 times. So after time travelling 80 times, you'll be able to enter this room. Inside you can find a very flexible skeleton and a very dead guard. Now this room is a reference to the excellent 90s movie Time Cop, which featured a scene where Jean-Claude Van Damme did typical Jean-Claude Van Damme things to take down an enemy. Now the reference to a 90s action movie is cool, but without the internet, who was going to jump into the flames and then spam a button 80 times just to see what would happen? I'm guessing no one. Now, if I was to ask you to sum up Gears of War in one word, I'm guessing a lot of you would say steroids. And I would say fair enough, I get it. But another word that some of you might use is brutal. In a typical multiplayer game of Gears of War, things get destroyed and people get even more destroyed. Well, to see this next Easter egg, you need to tone down the whole destruction thing and instead exercise extreme caution. On the Gridlock map, you can find the charred remains of civilians who were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Here's the thing. The remains were once people's loved ones, and if you respect their memories and avoid damaging them during a round, this will happen.
Let's go, Gears!
So a haunting rendition of Mad World will begin to play as the next round begins. With every round of Gears of War being full of gunshots, explosions and roided up military guys, the chances of stumbling across this Easter egg accidentally are slim to none. Now, it's always nice when an Easter egg actually gives you something worthwhile for completing it, especially when it makes you jump through loads of hoops first. Well, in Star Wars Battlefront 2, there are a lot of very specific hoops that you need to jump through. but there is a reward waiting at the end. On the Tekadana map, you can find this message written in Arabesh, which is the alphabet used in Star Wars. Translating the message, it reads, "The pirate is hiding something." Heading into the castle, you can find a painting of Hondu Anaka, who was a famous pirate in the Star Wars universe, and if you shoot the painting, this will happen. So the painting drops a coin. Pick it up and head to Slave 1, where you can find 3 interactable buttons. Press them in the order that I do, and this will happen.
Sector lost. Prepare to fall back and set up new defenses.
So the light on the left will flash 5 times, the one in the middle won't flash, and the one on the right flashes just the once. This is a reference to the 501st Legion, and their flag can be found back at the castle. Jump on the Legion's flagpole and press the button nearby. Finally, head downstairs and access a now unlocked room to claim your reward.
We lost the sector. Prepare to fall back.
So inside the room is a painting of the development team, which is nice, but it's not much of a reward. Well, if you complete these various tasks in co-op mode, then you will unlock the hooded Ray skin, which is really cool. Of course, Battlefront 2 is developed by DICE, the same people who are responsible for the always complicated Battlefield Easter eggs, so perhaps we shouldn't be surprised. Sticking with the Star Wars theme, up next is Goat Simulator 3. Now, the Imperial Mausoleum mission in Goat Simulator 3 is really vague. The description says use the Force to play a march. And that's it, that's all the help you're gonna get. Well, using the internet, this mission is easy to complete. You simply need to headbutt the bells in the order that I do. Now that was supposed to be the Imperial March from Star Wars. And I do kind of hear it, but then again, I'm not the most musically skilled person, so what do I know? Anyway, after ringing the bells, you can then wield the Pride Saber 2.0, which is a lightsaber that pretty much destroys everything it comes into contact with. I mean, the name of the mission, Imperial Mausoleum, might give you some clue of what needs to be done, but I would have never worked this out if it wasn't for YouTube. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.